Good evening to everyone. So, before we start, as usual, we are going to greet everybody and welcome everyone for the program. So, for that, everyone together, please unmute yourself and please say 3 times together. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, there is a practice of loving kindness. There is a practice of compassion. In this world, there is no one who don't like to get a welcome. Everybody likes the other people's acceptance. Everybody likes a part in to have a part, to have feelings towards him from the other people. Compassionate feelings, loving kindness feelings, and sympathetic feelings. We like to have such kind of positive feelings towards us. So just like that, when we practice this practice of saying Sadhu 3 times at the beginning, that means you share your compassion and you share your loving kindness with everyone. That's a wonderful thing to do. That's a very wonderful thing to do for any good human being. So we did it. And today is 18th June 2021, and we are fortunate enough to join together to preserve this time and to join together and practice and keep another step ahead in our spiritual path. Today too, we are going to practice. Newcomers, they are instructed who join, especially in the month of June, they are kindly instructed to practice breathing meditation. So breathing meditation means you will focus on your breath. When the breath is coming in, you will observe and be aware about this natural breath. You won't go to change it. When it is coming in, you are fully aware. When it is going out, you are fully aware that it is going out. If it is gross, be aware that it is gross. If it is soft, be aware that it is soft. If it is long, be aware that it is long. If it is short, be aware that it is short. Give your entire attention and let the natural breath come and go naturally, normally, and just keep on observing. Vipassana meditators who started the practice insight meditation. So today we are going to prolong our meditation towards our neck. So part by part, pitch by pitch, you started observing, scanning the whole body, observing the whole body part by part, pitch by pitch, according to the sensations that arise within each part. You started from the top of your head. Within that area, whatever the sensations that arise, you will focus. Let it be hardness, let it be softness, let it be itching sensation, pulsing sensation, or coldness, maybe heat. Nowadays there's heat much, so heat. Maybe if you don't feel any of those sensations, try to feel the touch of the air. Touch of the air. So when the air is moving here and there, it will touch those very parts. It doesn't matter whether this area or any other area. If you don't feel any sensation within that area, try to feel the touch of the air at least. Then whatever the sensation that arises, please understand that it doesn't prevail. It doesn't prevail forever. It will arise, it will stay for a while, and then will pass out. Then another sensation will arise. It will also will stay for a while, and then will pass out. This is the nature. So always remind to yourself that this sensation is also impermanent. Changing, changing, changing. It arises and it will pass out. Impermanent, impermanent, impermanent. Just observe the nature of that sensation as it is. Don't try to imagine. Don't try to fantasize about certain kind of sensation. So don't expect the same sensation twice in the very same area. And if you encounter a sensation that you cannot name, let it be so. There are not trillions. There are uncountable number of sensations that arise and pass away on our body. Since your concentration, sharpness of your mind is not good enough, you can't feel. But still, there are uncountable number of sensations that you don't know to name. They don't have any name. Later on, you will also experience some sensations very pleasing, and you will don't crave, but there'll be sensations which will be very, very, very pleasing. But don't lose your path. Don't get deluded because of those very pleasing sensations. So the old meditators, sometimes if your sharpness builds and improves, sometimes you will feel maybe within this later on within the this heart area, sometimes on the top of your head. When your mind becomes sharper, you will feel sensations which are very subtle, very pleasing, very pleasant. But still understand, don't get deluded. It is enough. Enough is enough. We were deluded throughout our life because of these sensations. So earlier, we were controlled by these sensations. Now you let your wisdom to understand the reality of these sensations. You're not going to get deluded. So how pleasing, let it be how pleasing. Let it be very, very pleasing, but still understand. Remind yourself, this sensation is also impermanent. Again, later on, when you keep on observing that part, sensations are sensations, their nature is rising and passing on. They'll pass away. And sometimes you will feel very uncomfortable sensations too. And at that time too, try to maintain the balance of mind. Let it be how much unpleasant, vigilantly, very, very vigilantly, with a very strong determination, observe and let yourself know, understand how unpleasant this sensation is. This is also impermanent, not special. Not special. So just like that very pleasing sensation, this very unpleasant sensation is also impermanent. Let the mind become balanced. Sensations, they will come, they will go. with each and every sensation, let your wisdom develop. Let yourself, let your mind, let your wisdom to get closer and closer to the reality, the real reality, the real truth, which is not, which you cannot label as a Buddhist truth, Hindu truth, Christian truth, or Muslim truth, or an Asian truth, American truth, or any African truth, or any truth. It has no any label. This is what it is. Let your wisdom to get closer to the reality, which has no any label, which has no any name, which is what it is. It is what it is. So very vigilantly, with a very strong determination, please observe and don't get deluded. Even though how comfortable the sensations that you feel. So at this moment, one thing that I want to mention is, you can't possibly feel those pleasant sensations or unpleasant sensations. They arise when your mind becomes shuttled. So don't try to forcibly feel them. Accept the reality of the accept the status of your mind at the present moment. Make peace with it. Don't crave. You are on the path to come out of this craving. You are craving throughout your life. You are in the path which is away, which leads you away from that path. So please, very ardently, whatever the sensation that you encounter, be aware. Be completely aware that this sensation is also impermanent, changing. Always changing. Sometimes the very same sensation, even though it stays for 1 minute or 2 minutes, sometimes you might think, oh, this is going to last forever. No. There is no any sensation which will last forever. Each and every moment it is changing. So with this understanding, whatever the sensation that you encounter it, and try to experience it, try to feel it, and recognize it as it is, and then remind yourself, impermanent. So let all the negativities by this way to go away. Let all the positivities to come up. Work very diligently, observing part by part, pitch by pitch, concentrating on each and every sensation that you can feel in all those paths, all those parts. At first, you will start from the top of your head, then front portion, back portion, right ear, left ear, then forehead, then after that, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, right eyeball, left eyeball, nose, right chin, left chin, upper lip, lower lip, chin, right cheek, left cheek, upper lip, lower lip, chin. And today you will follow. You will observe the front portion of your neck. And then after that, back portion of your neck. From top of the head to the back portion of your neck. Part by part, pitch by pitch. Very diligently, very ardently, please keep practicing. Understanding the reality of this world. Reality of us. Impermanence. Everything is impermanent. Everything is impermanent. Now everyone, please relax yourself. Sit nicely. Keep your right palm on your left palm. Back straight. Neck straight. Head straight. Calm down. Namo tesse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tesse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tesse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Now everyone, with a very calm mind, very quiet mind, very alert, very attentive mind, balanced and equanimous mind, please start your meditation. May your meditation be very, very successful. Please start the meditation now. Now, everyone, please don't open your eyes. But if your legs are hurting, then you can relax them. If your legs are hurting, you can relax them, but don't open the eyes. And relax. Relax your whole body from top to bottom. Now we are going to share loving kindness. We are going to practice loving kindness meditation. First of all, towards you, then towards your parents, friends, and relatives, and then to the enemies, and towards all the beings finally. Relax. First of all, let's share our loving kindness towards yourself. Think like this and share loving kindness. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I come out of anger, hatred, jealousy, ill will, and all the negativities. May I attain and enjoy real peace, real happiness. Real. Just like me, my mother, me, my father, me, my relatives and friends. May all of them be well, be happy, be peaceful. May they come out of anger, hatred, jealousy, ill will, and all the negativities. May they also attain and enjoy real peace, real happiness, real happiness. Now let's keep in mind our own enemies. First of all, you will forgive them. I ask forgiveness for everything that I did to hurt them. I also forgive for everything, each and everything that you did to hurt. all my enemies. May all my enemies also be well. Be happy. Be peaceful. May they come out of anger, hatred, jealousy, ill will, and all the negativities. May they attain and enjoy real peace, real happiness, real happiness. Now let's think of all the beings in the whole universe. May all beings in this whole universe, from small amoeba to the Brahma, towards all the beings, powerful, not powerful, doesn't matter. Beautiful or ugly, doesn't matter. Educated, uneducated, doesn't matter. And whatever the differences that they do have, doesn't matter. You adore and you accept, you welcome all those beings equally. Your heart is open for all of them with love, with kindness, with compassion. You share your loving kindness. May all beings in this universe be well, be happy, be peaceful. May all beings come out of anger, hatred, jealousy, ill will, and all the negativities. May all beings attain and enjoy real peace, real happiness, real peace, real happiness. Now very calmly and slowly, please open your eyes. Please relax. Relax. Unmute yourself. And now please say 3 times together. Sadhu,
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 sadhu.
Dear Tamil friends, this day is also over and we ended the practice for today. In our life, in your day-to-day life, as I mention every day, it is very important to use the concentration, use the wisdom, the loving kindness that you develop uh, in your day-to-day life. Let's say in your day-to-day life, something happens which makes you angry. Now you really understand by your own experience that whatever happens outside, we grasp it, we absorb it through sensations. Through sensations. Either we catch it by mind and develop sensations here, or we feel and then we catch that sensation. Whatever the sensation it is, you have to understand it is impermanent, changing. So even though earlier, for anger, even though you reacted with anger, that means when there was a fire, you reacted with the very fire. Now you are not going to do that. You're not going to be foolish. Instead, what you are doing is, instead of fire, now you are going to throw a bucket of water. So even though the other person is angry, you are going to react. You will do your best to react with calmness. You develop concentration. Through concentration meditation, breathing meditation, you develop calmness, inner calmness. So use it and try to face it with calmness. By the practice of vipassana, by practicing vipassana meditation, you understood that everything is impermanent. No use of clinging to anything. Each and everything arises and passes. So nothing that we can call as I, my, or mine. Earlier, when someone was scolding at you, so at once what you did, you thought that there is a person who is eternally existing as I. So this person is scolding at that I. So you try to throughout your life, you try to uh, develop an imaginary I. So the I who has a lot of degrees and who is perfect, who does no wrong. So who is a super character and superior character in front of the other people. So you try to build up and maintain such kind of an I. But in reality, this is only a body and mind which is arising and passing away continuously. So even though how much achievements that you gain in life, when it comes to body and mind, they don't belong to them. Even though how much money you do have, how much property you do have, how much relatives you do have, how much famous you are. Finally, when it comes to this body and mind, they are who they are. Now you understand. When that person scolds at you, so now because you are realizing this reality by your own experience, not only because Buddha said so, not because the teacher teaches you. You understand it only through your own experience. You understand it through your own experience, not because of any person's teaching. So for some people it automatically happens. If not, take that wisdom out and face the situation. Whatever it is happening here, this is impermanent. No use of getting angry. No use of throwing fire to the fire. Let me throw a bucket of water. Let me throw a bucket of water. Loving kindness, compassion. Water and fire cannot coexist. Always the water wins. If the water, so when there is a fire, when there is water, when you throw the bucket of water on the top of that fire, it goes off. That is the nature. So the negativities, they cannot exist longer when there is positivity. Finally, positivity wins. So with that proper understanding, the understanding of impermanence, face it. So, example, once a person who was angry at the Buddha came to the Buddha and kept on scolding. The Buddha was listening until he becomes tired. When he became tired, when he kept quiet, the Buddha asked, "Do you have anything else to scold?" He didn't have anything. That's why he stopped. He kept silent. Then Buddha said, "Dear friend, do friends come to your residence? Do you invite friends to visit your residence?" Said, "Yes." "Do you prepare food for them?" "Yes, I do." Then Buddha asked, suddenly the friend says, "I won't be able to come today. I'm sorry." Then what do you do? Will those presents that you kept for your friend and that delicious food that you prepared for your friend, do you throw them away? Said, "No, sir. What we do is we enjoy them. We keep the presents for ourselves." The Buddha said very calmly, "Those presents you brought here, the presents which are called scoldings, a lot of harsh words, bad words, I don't accept those presents. You can keep it with you and you can enjoy." So, what helped the Buddha to remain silent? So, to to face the situation with positivity, what was the secret? Buddha knew to the depth level, to the utmost level, that this is impermanent, changing. And instead of so inside him there was a lot of compassion, a great compassion, a great loving kindness. He, instead of throwing the words of anger, he served that very person with wisdom and with loving kindness and with compassion. The person changed. We may not have the same thing, but still you can apply these understandings in your day-to-day life. That is very important. So today we are going to learn about the second noble truth. Last week we learned about the first noble truth. In brief, we are going to learn about the second noble truth. In the first noble truth, we understood that there is a suffering in this world. And that suffering is universal. Human beings, or divine beings, or animals, or let it be anybody, we suffer. We have these sufferings universally with every being. In brief, what are those sufferings? So, the birth is suffering. And then decaying or getting old, old age, being old is suffering. What is happening? Sickness is suffering. And then the death is suffering. It is there. And what you expect, it doesn't happen. Something else happens. It is also suffering. And you depart from the things or persons that you like. It is suffering. And you apart, you get together with the people, with the incidents, with the things that you don't like. It is also suffering. And the whole five aggregates are suffering. When we cling to those five aggregates as I, my mind, it brings suffering. Regardless of any person's differences, religion, ethnic background, or anything, we have this suffering. We have to understand with wisdom. Number two, second truth is, there is a cause for this suffering. What is the cause of this suffering? This constant suffering. There is no moment that we are out of this suffering. Each and every moment we have these sufferings with us. So sometimes we notice, sometimes we don't notice, but they are there. So to get rid of this suffering, you have to know what causes this suffering. The cause of this suffering is craving. In ancient Pali word, this is called as tanha, craving, clinging, attachment, tanha. So craving is the thing which creates, which is the cause of this suffering. Example, sickness arises, you suffer. Because of some natural reasons, there is a sickness in us. You suffer. Why? Because you always crave not to get sick. Whenever you start craving like that, you go against the nature. But the nature doesn't care. It flows according to its own way. So you are not making peace with the nature. You crave to stay healthy forever. But actually, sickness is always here. So you suffer. It may be a physical sickness, it may be a mental sickness. Old age, you don't like. You crave to stay young and you don't like to be old. But each and every moment in our life, we are becoming old and old and old and old. So whenever we are, sometimes we try to deceive ourselves. So as I mentioned last time too, you go to, if hair is getting whiter or discolored, you go to a play. You run to the shop, and then you buy some dye and you apply, and you cheat. You deceive the other people, saying sometimes you will say a lower age and not the real age, and by those such kind of ways, by such kind of appearance, uh, so by changing your look, you try to deceive the other people. But the reality is, it's going on, it's happening. So whenever uh, whenever you keep on craving, that is the cause of your suffering. So we don't have any contentment, any satisfaction, how much we do gain. The more we do gain, even though rains of money, trains of dollars fall in your yard, still your craving doesn't end. Your craving doesn't end. So this craving, we need to understand that this craving is the cause of our suffering. So if we don't, so what we do is, even though we realize that the craving is the cause of this suffering, what we are used to do is always, whenever we feel suffering because of our own craving, still by another way of craving, you try to replace and change the previous suffering. But no one can get rid of that suffering by another way. Always, when there is craving, then there is suffering. So one story. So in ancient India, there was a person who was a tailor. He was nourishing his family by doing this profession. Later on, what happened? Suddenly, a sickness arose. This person passed away. According to this story, this folklore, this person died and was born as a golden goose. But it could remember about its past life. So what it did, when he passed away, his family became helpless. So they were hardly surviving. He remembered where his house was, and so once a week, what it did, it went to that home and laid one egg in the yard of his family. And that family, so his former wife, she saw this golden egg. So at first she was amazed, and at the same time she was so happy, and she sold it and got a sufficient amount of money. So every week, every week, by this way, the golden goose, it was laying eggs on the yard, and the family was surviving on those golden eggs. What happened? What happened later on? This lady's craving grew up. She wanted to become more richer. She thought that uh, uh, she hid herself and saw this golden duck. So, uh, she thought if she could catch, she told her daughters that if she could catch she doesn't know that when this golden duck golden goose will stop coming. So we have to catch it, and sometimes there may be more golden inside it. So let's catch it and kill it and see. So the daughters, of course, but she went on and caught the golden goose and killed and cut off the goose belly and checked. There was only white eggs, no golden eggs. So finally, not only they lost, because of craving, they lost their only income too. So we are also the same. When you have a good job and when you have a sufficient amount of money to live properly, we need to develop satisfaction. But very rarely people get satisfied with the things what they do have. They want to have more and more comfortable sensations. So for that, they try to spend lavishly, to have more and more enchanting sensations. But poor they don't understand one thing that you understand right now. Whatever the comfortable sensations that you, so how much they try to achieve comfortable sensations, they can't achieve better comfortable sensations that you can achieve through meditation. That is one thing. And the other thing, whatever the sensation, let it be through meditation or let it be from outside, well, whatever the sensations that you encounter, you can't let that sensation exist forever. How pleasant or unpleasant a sensation is, it is bound to pass. Bound to pass. It is the nature. You can't change it. But if you keep craving, you are bound to suffer moment to moment, because you are going against the nature. Now, good that you made this practice. Good that you keep on practicing. Good that you properly understand the technique. Good, you have the wisdom. Your wisdom is developing gradually. What you need to do is diligently, you need to practice understanding this reality. How much you do crave about whatever the thing that you crave, each and everything that you crave about, they don't last forever. They don't last forever. They only have the same characteristic. How much pleasant or unpleasant or neutral a sensation is, they only produce one characteristic, that is impermanence. So whatever the sensation it arises, make peace with it. Don't develop more craving. How much pleasant the sensation is. Come to consciousness. Come to awareness. And please tell that sensation. How much pleasing you are. I know the reality of you. You are impermanent. You are not everlasting. Even the unpleasant sensations, try to do the same. Even though how much unpleasant you are, I know that you are impermanent too. Then gradually those sensations will pass away, and your peace, your inner peace, will keep on developing, and a happiness that you never felt ever will keep on developing. But very important, don't cling to that happiness too. Don't cling to that peace too. They are also impermanent. They develop because you have developed your wisdom, you have created reasons, causes for them to arise. So if they arise, accept. Okay, very nice. That's fine. If you come, so I welcome. That's fine. As long as you want to stay, please stay. Whenever you want to go, please go. Thinking like that, encounter them and keep on practicing very ardently. That's enough, I think, for today. So there is suffering. And what is the cause of suffering? That is your own craving. So in the next week, we are going to learn in the next week, you are going to learn what is the solution for this craving. And next week, you are going to learn how the path to come out of this suffering. So please work very diligently. This is not a cakewalk. This is not just like making quick noodles. You have to understand the path properly. So you have to understand the technique properly. And very patiently, little by little, step by step, please try ardently, practice ardently, and finally attain through your own deliverance and dedication the real peace, real happiness, purification of mind, Nibbana. Now, today too, we practiced and accumulated a lot of positive energy by the power of that let's wish. May all our troubles be away. May all the good things happen in our lives. And may this pandemic situation be away very soon. And practicing this Dhamma path, practicing this non-sectarian meditation practice, may all of us attain real peace, real happiness, Nibbana. Everyone, please concentrate to get blessings. Abhivadana silisse niccang vaddha pacain Chattaru dhamma vaddanti Ayuvanno sukhang balang Ayurarogya sampatti Sagga sampatti me vache Ato nibbana sampatti Iminati samijjatu. Good night to everyone. May all of you be well. May all of you be happy. May all of you be very, very peaceful. Good night to everyone and see you on next Friday. If there is a question, you can stay. The others, they can go.
Good night, Api Hamdruane.
Good night, Nelly.
Good
Good night, Bante.
Good night, Sonal.
Good night,
Good night,
Abhihamdune.
Amy. Thiruvan Sarnai Tara. Good night, Rajaman Jantrendi. Pragati. Rahul, good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Prashant, good night.
Good night, Bhante.
Mr. John, good night. Oh, yes, Mr. John, do you have any question?
Good night, Bhante.
Oh, good night, Miss. Good night, Jaime. So nice to see you.
Yes, thank you, Bhante.
Good night. EPF.